Hello, everybody. My name is Melvise. I'm a publisher and a ghostwriter and an editor, and I'm also an author. And I am live here every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time to read and revise my novel out loud live here with y'all. Ooh, there we go. And we're on chapter 10. Okay, so we're on chapter 10. Chapter 10 is very short. Didn't realize it was this short, so I looked at it just now. It's very short, but it is to the point. But before I even get into this chapter, I have a publishing tip for you. Okay, your font, your font, your font, your font. Okay, your font must be pleasing to the eyes. It must be legible, easy to read. It should not be a font where you can't really decide if that letter is this or that. You know, if you look it up, if you don't already know what what's the word I'm looking for? What are the common, fonts used for novels, for fiction books, for children's books? There's different fonts depending upon, if it's a children's book, there's certain type of fonts you want to use for children's books. If it's a novel or nonfiction, certain type of fonts that you want to use. You can't just pick anything just because you like the way it looks, because even though you might like the way it looks, it might not be pleasing to the eyes. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, I bring that up because in this chapter is Naomi reflecting on her current situation. Okay, and if you've been with us since the beginning of the story, or even if you haven't, you can go back and you can watch the replays for all of the chapters 1 through 9. I believe Naomi's character was introduced in chapter 3. Yes, watch the video for chapter 3, and you'll know a little something about Naomi. Chapter 3, and it was chapter 3 and chapter 4. Chapter 3 and 4. Okay, watch those two videos, and then you'll know why Naomi is having this moment she's having right here in this chapter right here. So yeah, so the font, that's what I was talking about. So in this chapter, Naomi is reflecting on her current situation, and she decided to write down her thoughts, right? So we have a what will be a handwritten journal entry almost like, right? So the issue is that we wanted to change the font uh, for a handwriting, but this font here, horrible. This should not be in a book. I'm just gonna show it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. This this font right here. I don't even know the name of it. All I know is a font like that does not belong inside of a printed book, or an electronic book either. You can't you can barely read it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I know that's a T. Okay, that must be a I. But then there's a character that she mentions whose name is T, and is that a T or I? So I'm definitely gonna have to change the font. I like for if you just want to know from a publisher, I format books. I format books for authors also. So if you are an indie author or you have a publishing company but you don't know how to format the books, hit me up and I can do that for you. But uh Garamond, I like Garamond. Garamond is a nice font. Garamond. Garamond, Palatino. Those are two really nice fonts that they look nice, but they're pleasing to the eyes. Okay, Times New Roman is like the standard, business, font. Yeah, you can use Times New Roman if that's what you like, but if you want yours to look just a little bit different than the norm, I would choose Garamond. Okay, so now that the publishing tip is over, Melvista publisher, she's gone now. Here's Melvista author right here back with you, getting ready to read this nice short chapter 10. We're gonna be in and out of here tonight. Okay. Chapter 10, same stuff, different place. June 2005. Arriving at the inn, Naomi was exhausted from the workday and excited about her expertise. After only 2 months, she was handling the front desk like a pro. She had quickly learned the ropes. No one suspected that she had absolutely no experience in a professional environment. In fact, no one even realized that she had never been legally employed at all. I don't like the way I read that. I'm going to read it over. I was reading it looking to see if something was wrong. I ain't seen nothing wrong. Let me read it over smooth so it'll sound better. Back to the beginning. Okay. Chapter 10, same stuff, different place. June 2005. June 2005. Arriving at the end, Naomi was exhausted from the workday and excited by her expertise. After only 2 months, she was handling the front desk like a pro. She had quickly learned the ropes. No one suspected that she had absolutely no experience in a professional environment. In fact, no one even realized that she had never been legally employed at all. Naomi showered and got ready for bed, thinking about all of the things she liked about going to work every day. I'm going to change Naomi to she. Many people found her to be funny and easygoing, often mentioning that she was not tense like Mary. They were all extremely polite and had great senses of humor. Ooh, oh wow. That doesn't sound right. Let's see. Um, they were all extremely polite, uh, with a great sense of humor. No. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I gotta fix that. That's why I was reading the other one slow because I knew I was gonna run into something. So anyway, recap for those of you all who may just be new here and don't know, I am reading and revising my novel live here with y'all every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay, this book was written and published years ago, but it was not edited properly. Since writing this book, I have become an editor. I'm also a ghostwriter. So now I can look at this book and I can see everything that was wrong. And I'm going to sit here with y'all 2 days a week and fix it, right? I'm going to fix it. And then I'm going to republish it as a revised edition, and then everybody and their mama and their daddy and their nephew and their brother and their cousin, their aunt and their uncle and their neighbor and their grandma and their granddad and they teacher and they everybody is gonna go and run and buy it so that Melvise will be a New York Times best-selling author. Okay, that is the goal. That's what we're doing here. So anyway, I have to fix that sentence. She liked joking around with Sammy and the other guys in the service center. And Sammy never complained when Naomi sent him to pick up last minute lunch orders, despite the fact that he was often at a rush handling other tasks. Melvin, the IT person, was laid back and always helpful when needed, which Naomi was thankful for, seeing as she had very little experience with computers. Mhm. It says Naomi could not believe. I'm going to change that to she. Yeah, there's just too much overuse of character words, character names here. She could not believe how quick time was flying by. She had learned her way around a small part of corporate America, or should she say the working world. Ew. Okay, I don't like the way that sentence is flowing either. Let's see. Hmm. Maybe I'll fix that one too. I don't know. Naomi smiled, leaned back on the headboard, and turned on the television for company. She picked up the complimentary notepad on the nightstand and began writing. It says began writing down her thoughts, but we don't need down. We're going to take that out. And it's just going to say began writing her thoughts. Okay, now here comes this part where she was writing what she was writing. And I don't know what font I'm going to use for this part, but it definitely will not be this one. I can't even hardly see it so I could read it to you. That's the horrible part. No, okay, okay. Let me stop for another hot second right here. Okay. Your publisher. Okay. Oh man, do I want to go here? I'm gonna have to go here. I'm gonna have to go here. I just have to speak my mind right here for a hot second. Okay, Melvise the publisher back in the chair just for a hot minute. You have options. You have options when it comes down to publishing your work. Now, I'm not going to sit here and break down all the options. I'm just going to talk about this one option. Okay, going to a publisher, okay, a hybrid publisher that will charge you to publish your book. Okay, if your publisher will just take your book, no matter what you sent them, how you sent it, and not give you any feedback on your book, um, if they edited your book and it comes back with an extremely minimal amount of changes, when you know that you are not a seasoned writer, um, if they don't give you any type of suggestions or any type of advice at all in regards to the font, the sizing, um, the cover. You know, I saw somebody's cover, and you could see the title. Then she had, I don't know if it was a subtitle, if it was just some descriptive words, the author's name. You couldn't even hardly see it. You couldn't even hardly see it. And it's my understanding that somebody created that cover for her. Why would you create a cover for someone that looks like that if you don't even know that something is wrong? Even if that's what they asked for, if you know what they asked for is not up to par, then you at least let them know and make a suggestion. And then if they still decide they want to go with, what they want is what they want, especially if they're paying for it. If that's what they want, all right, fine. This is what you want. This is what you're going to get. But at least you know that you you know that you tried to help or you told them, so you did your part. So I say that to say that when we sent this manuscript to the publisher with this font, they should have told us this font, you can't read this font. You know what I'm saying? They should have told us, you know, we see you use this font here, but um, we're going to change it. You know, we think you should change it to this or that so that the reader can read it. Because I'm sitting here and I can't even read this. I'm going to read it though because I got to get through it. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. You know, there's nothing wrong with paying somebody, a company, or different freelance individuals, however you want to do it. There's nothing wrong with paying somebody to help you get your work, to get your book done correctly. Okay? But there is something wrong with paying somebody and then they don't do it right. Okay? That's the difference. Anyway, Melvis, the author, is back. Let me read this these words here. Hmm. I wonder if I can see them better without my glasses. Hmm. I don't know. All right. So anyway, she picked up the complimentary notepad on the nightstand and began writing her thoughts. Even though my time at JK has been pretty smooth, I felt nervous. Even though my time at JK has been pretty smooth, I felt nervous about returning to the office every day. Hmm. I'm going to change I felt to I feel nervous. Hmm. I'm not sure. I might have the wrong tense there. I gotta read it again. Every morning while I'm getting dressed, I pray that everything will be okay. Mostly, I pray that Kat won't mention the employment papers I never returned to her. Just thinking about that makes me uneasy. Grateful as I am, it's odd that a law firm would hire me on the spot like that. No interview, no background check, no application. Just sit here and do this. I think it was probably a blessing. After all, I had no place to go. I believe I was led here because working at JK gives me a sense of pride. Mm, I'm not sure if sense of pride is the right word there. I might change that. I think that a sense of responsibility would be more like it because her character has never had any type of responsibility. I could have saved myself a whole lot of stress. Nope, blah, blah, that's not what it says. You see this? Gosh, these freaking words. This font is horrible. Telling you, don't do it. Don't just pick a font just because it looks nice. No, 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 no. Can you read it? Can a child read it? If a child can't read those letters, don't use it. Don't use it. I could have saved myself a whole lot of drama and unnecessary headache if I had done something like this years ago. Why didn't I use the intelligence God gave me to pursue a career instead of using it to manipulate useless hustlers? It's amusing the way people always stop at the front desk to talk to me. Sometimes they say things that make me think receptionist is a synonym for therapist. People that I barely know tell me things that I would never tell a soul. There are times when their drama is so lame, I want to tell them I don't have an answer for you, and honestly, I don't give a sh. but I always stop myself from saying it. Whatever they're going through seems so big to them. I'll just smile, pretend to listen, and offer useless advice. With the gossip racing around that place, it's like being on the front line of a war that I want no part of. No way will I allow myself to get involved in office politics. Seeing the ins and outs of the legitimate working class makes it clear. Ugh, this does not make any sense at all. I'm not even gonna read the rest of this sentence out loud because I don't even know. Hmm. I wrote this book. I didn't write this book and publish this book solo. I wrote this book with a co-author, my my friend, and I think that yeah, Naomi was her character. But we're gonna change this sentence because it's not flowing right. Okay, I'm not surprised though. Corporate dealings aren't much different than the BS going down on the streets. The only difference I can see is in corporate America, the deals are open handed, vastly encouraged, and legal. It says in the ghetto, but I think I'm going to change it to in the hood. Okay. In the hood, they're underhanded, expected, and unlawful. Nothing new ever really happens in the office. Nothing new ever happens on the streets. Things seem to come around now, then come back around again later. Gossip spreads all day. Sometimes people spend an entire week or more talking about the same over and over. Then a week or two after things have died down, somebody like Darlene or Martha stirs up all over again. It didn't take long for me to identify the local gossip queens. Martha is bad, but Darlene is worse. She reminds me of those trifling bees on my block, always in someone else's business. All they do is stand around watching what everyone else is doing, anxious for the opportunity to tell anyone who will listen. This is there is one difference though. Darlene gets away with saying anything about any and everybody. At least those chicks on the block know when to shut up. Saying the wrong thing about the wrong person is dangerous. Telling what you see and hear can get you killed. Wow, I don't. Ugh, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that word. I'm sorry. It seems like a partner. Wait, hold on. It seems like a partner in a law firm is equal to the captain on the streets. Earl reminds me of Butter. He's a partner at JK. Butter is the head of the firm, as he likes to refer to his territory. The only difference is Lorenz and Preston are on the same level as Earl. No one ranks up top with Butter. The partners at JK have their associates, senior and junior. The senior associates are no different than T, Butter's right hand man. Butter gives orders and T distributes the assignments to the dealers and make sure everything goes down as planned. Then there are the secretaries who the clients have to go through before they can communicate with the partners. Sort of like how everyone has to deal with Butter's bodyguard first before Butter will even acknowledge their presence. Last but not least was the captain's bee. The chick that is always by his side with a pretty face, smashing body, and everything else that qualifies her as his showpiece. Thinking about it, I realized that I have experience as a receptionist after all. Earl hired me for my pretty smile. I am the first thing everyone sees when they enter the office. JK's B, if you will. Damn, Naomi thought to herself, I'm still just another piece of behind, except now I have legal responsibilities. I can dress like an office worker instead of a streetwalker, and I can't get shot or arrested answering the phones. And that is the end of chapter 10. Okay, now y'all know exactly where Naomi came from. What is she doing in Morgantown? She didn't even fill out the paperwork. They ain't do no background check on her. They didn't do nothing. Well, you if you go back and you watch and listen to chapter 3 and 4, then you'll know how she ended up being employed as the receptionist at a prestigious black law firm. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 10. And my goodness, I'm so sorry. I apologize to anybody who actually read this original edition of this book and had to get through that. They might not even read it. They might not even really know what's up with Naomi, because they might not have been able to read her journal entry because the font is just jacked up. There's some people that do that. If it's something they don't like in a book, they'll just turn past it and skip it. But not the revised edition, y'all. The revised edition is going to be formatted properly. The fonts are going to be superb. The cover is going to be awesome. The story is magnificent. The writing is just going to be superb. And this book is destined to be a New York Times bestseller, along with the book that is coming right after it. Okay, y'all. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you live here next Tuesday. And we will read chapter 11. Okay, chapter 11. Ooh, yeah, okay. Chapter Chapter 11 is a fun chapter. It's a fun chapter. It takes place on Independence Day, and of course, you know, there's some type of street party or cookout or something in Morgantown. Yeah, everybody getting together, and cool beans. Cool beans. Chapter 11 on Tuesday, y'all. Yeah, I like chapter 11. Chapter 11 is a nice, fun chapter. Nice publishing tip for y'all in that chapter too. Pretty sure there'll be some more tips. But anyway, yeah, so if you are a author or a writer, you're trying to write your novel, maybe you already wrote a few books, whatever. I encourage you to watch all of my videos, even if you don't watch the full videos of me reading the chapters, which you know could help you pick up some writing tips. You could watch the clips you know that I extract from those videos with the different writing, publishing, and editing tips. Okay, so if you aren't following me yet, you can follow me. Okay. And then also, one more thing before I go. If you are a published author, if you are a published author and you would like to be a guest on Writers with Purpose, which is the official podcast for Written Words Publishing, you can contact me. Send me a message, put it in the chat, send me a DM. You can go to writtenwordspublishing.com and send it via the comments, or on any platform where you see me DM. Let me know that you would like to be a guest, and I will send you the information, and you can be a guest on Writers with Purpose. Okay, nice, cool 20-minute video podcast where we go live on multiple platforms at the same time, so that the audience can interact and ask questions, And then, yeah, you can get some exposure and let readers know what was the purpose behind your book. Writers with purpose. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I gotta do tonight, and I will see y'all next week. Bye bye.